I came across this old journal entry I wrote right when I graduated. I was like, I have no idea what my life will look like, even in the next few months. In my early 20s, I just had so many questions about my life and my future. And now that I've been through my mid 20s and I'm in my late 20s, I definitely have a much better idea on where my life is headed. But I've been stuck on the ultimate question, is this it? Like, should I be moving on to the next stage of my life? But I honestly don't even know what that means. Asking very open-ended questions are pretty terrifying because it elicits more questions than answers. Is this the right career for me? Is this relationship my end game? At first, these kind of questions might make the future seem even more uncertain than it already feels, but these questions have a way of coming up again and again, sometimes in a whisper and sometimes in ways that becomes impossible to ignore. Staring at the abyss means to look at these questions right in the eye and examine your life through it. It might seem easier in the moment to procrastinate staring into your own abyss, but that actually might mean living out longer in a future that isn't really the one that you want. I stared deeply into my abyss last year, and there's no sugarcoating it. It was extremely painful and difficult. You know, at any point in life, change can feel really terrifying, but I think as we get older, we also start to feel really left behind in certain life stages. I feel like as people, and especially as women, we're constantly being told which years are our prime years, and I felt like I had less margin to take risks because I was in my prime. However, that is absolutely not true. Questions in life are so normal and so healthy to be asking. And I realized that my abyss is not something to be scared of or something to shut down because it is also me in my most authentic self. Jenny shared this with me and it touched me really deeply. Limit knee-jerk reactions to uncomfortable feelings and instead sit with the feelings and understand what it needs. In other words, if this feeling could talk to you, what would it say? Sometimes the discomfort of our own feelings can make us want to feel anything but that emotion. But when we do that, we're also running away from our own needs. The negative emotion I was running away from all of last year was the feeling of being alone and the feeling of being lonely. And I chased anything that was fun and anything that helped me distract myself from this feeling. In that process, I also met different people where from the outside, their life looked so fun and so exciting. But when I got a closer look at their lives, it lacked intimacy. And through me running away from the feeling of being alone, I realized that my unmet need was connection. And when I escaped with all those knee-jerk reactions, they felt good in the moment, but once that moment passed, I was alone exactly to where I was before. And I realized that I had been maintaining a busy life instead of a full life. I didn't want to confront the loneliness, the guilt, the uncertainty, the anxiety, but feelings are not absolute. The moment always passes, and a bad day does not mean a bad life. Honest introspection is tough, but it helps us get a step closer to where we need to be, even if that next step is just wallowing in our feelings and feeling sad for a little bit. Play big and not small. Uncertainty can be contagious and it can leak into other areas of our life. James Clear actually said, imagine there is a small version of you and a big version. When you are playing small, your behavior is timid, you feel less than, you are often surrounded by people and projects that drain you. When you are playing big, your behavior is confident, you feel motivated, and you tend to be investing in people and projects that energize you. In the aftermath of staring into my abyss and trying to figure out my next step, my confidence was at an all-time low. I started playing small, and this leaked into work, this leaked into my relationships, and I had just never practiced believing in myself just on my own terms. I realized that I really relied on external validation. Like most of my confidence was coming from other people assuring me, rather than me knowing and deeply believing that about myself. This year, I'm learning how to play big while balancing all the uncertainty. I've been asking myself, what do I want to put my mind to in 2024? And I'm prioritizing direction over speed. I might not get there first, and I definitely won't get there yesterday, but I'm focusing more on the direction that I'm headed towards and reinvesting my energy towards that intention. We often manifest a version of ourselves in the future, feel better about the current discontentment that we're feeling in the present, but I think we're actually a lot closer to this version of ourselves than we think. Maybe instead of dreaming of and evaluating external circumstances, dream more about who you want to be, because that's something you actually have more control and influence over. And it's important to let ourselves live by the moments too. Thanks so much for watching. Please let me know if anything resonated with you in the comments, and see you in the next one.